have another game. Calvin is coming over, so it worked out perfectly.
Oh, perfect.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, one and all. Hope you're all having a great day. Normally, we would be having a game with Wolf's campaign in the what has been lovingly named the Shits. For super high intensity team, which is a fancy way of saying we just die a lot.
Yeah.
So, last time we left off, well, there wasn't a last time. This is a different campaign. I am running a sort of rejected potential campaign today with all new players. I am joined, of course, by Anton's player, Julian, who will be playing, and I've got to pull up this character sheet. Callan the Spectre Garandil?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm also joined with Chaston, who plays Bardris in one of our other campaigns. He will be playing tonight Hawk, the Rabbit Folk. Oh, gods. Also, of course, we have Cameron, who everyone already knows who he plays, as he's been around these campaigns for as long as I've been streaming. And he will be playing as Jamelor. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
He's muted, so I'll assume yes.
No, it's Jim Lore.
Okay, General.
General.
All right, got it.
I can't pronounce it right either. Don't ask me.
Then why did you...
He randomized names. It's a random name.
I just used randomized name because I had no idea what to call this character.
Lovely. In the future, I will have to make it a rule that you have to be able to pronounce your own character's name. And lastly, of course, who's been on a couple campaigns with us and has managed to do some of the most outrageous things as a player, we have Miguel playing Dora Zuriki.
You got it right on the nose, yeah.
Perfect. All right. So, the general idea of this campaign was we didn't have anybody playing... Wolf is in Florida, so we didn't have anybody to run a session, so I offered to run a one-off session with the party as a sort of Vanguard or a mercenary unit, each of them having the background of a mercenary in general. Have been or something of the similar, having been hired on to fight for the Silver Raven Empire. For those who don't know that is Tikva's own personal empire that was named by Gaul after Tikva made the announcement that they would become independent and run their own kingdom. Unfortunately, this announcement came with a lot of new enemies and not enough friends. Thus, with having Gaul pissed off the High Queen, currently with Cyrus and his band of misfits fighting off the High Queen's current attack in the Dwarven lands, Tenem and his empire, or Dragon's Gate Empire, has decided to make the first move. Having sent a vanguard ahead of his entire army, who are still marching well off in the distance, to make the first move on the colonies that are where the Silver Raven Empire gets a lot of its trade going. Thus, this is a very important situation, and the Silver Raven Empire, led by Gaul currently in a pseudo kind of setup as the lead general, has decided to gather the army at the colonies to hold the grounds. Thank you, Durid Princess. I don't know who that is that just followed. Thank you, whoever it is. Go check out YouTube for all the previous recordings. As I was saying, you lot have been hired, not by Gaul personally, but by some random captain none of you remember the name of because he wasn't that important. You were basically informed as mercenaries, if you manage to kill someone of importance, you will be able to pick your prize, whatever you request of the queen herself. Should you die on battle, you will not collect payment, nor will any of your next of kin, nor any of your friends. Should you not kill anybody, or should you kill people but no one of note, and successfully survive, you will be paid about 500 gold pieces for every head you bring in. Alongside you lot, you have seen that the Empire hasn't been able to pull together many forces currently. You number about 5,000 in rough numbers from what you gather around the camp. Mostly people who are for hire, and the majority of the rest being Tabaxi, who have managed to march north to join with the Silver Raven Empire's forces. The DM, of course, here has provided some interesting concepts for this campaign setting, and this may be a session we may do again in the future. This is also a chance for the players to get their characters written into the book, which the book is hoping to be eventually published in the next year or two. I've said that for the last 3 years in a row, so don't hold me to that.
And don't hold your breath on it either.
It's a very big book. It's over, I think now, 1,000 pages in total. It's not even a quarter of the way done, and this is me fleshing out the book a bit more. So, it is, at this point, roughly around June, or the month of June. It is in the year 35 AS. It has been a hot summer so far. Many of the fields have already been planted and harvested in the tiefling colonies. As you lot have been hired, as I mentioned, only recently, having been here for a month or two. What the hell sound was that? Mia? I'm not reading that out. Thank you, Mia, for the subscription, but, wow. Thank you. That's weird. I wasn't expecting to get a subscriber tonight. As you lot have managed to get yourselves kind of set up in this camp, it is about midday, and you can see off in the distance the camp in the mountains, a little north of you at this point, where you can see what looks to be a little bit larger of a force by rough estimation by each of you. You've been gathered to be put in a squad. Your squad leader, last time you saw him, was getting drunk and has vanished, leaving you lot to be in charge of yourselves. Feel free to rename yourselves while this session's going on to your characters' names, just to keep track and make it a little easier. You can change back after the session's over. As I was saying, You've been told roughly by the commander of the army that more than likely this will be more of a scouting party. There shouldn't be anybody really of note. However, many of the local wizards have noted a very large concentration of both divine and arcane magic coming from that hilltop. And many of the forces don't look that confident as many. Overall, from a gathering, most of these are peasants who have been roughly gathered together and given swords and shields. Luckily, the Empire has been willing to pay their way overall, and has had plenty of arms and armor to offer. You lot are specialty forces. And in all honesty, you aren't the only mercenaries that have been hired. Other groups are spotted throughout the camp, but nothing catches your eye. As it is midday, you lot have been provided with your meals, another day of mystery stew that you don't really ask the question of, and free beer. Gaul has been going around camp saying hi to a few people as you've spotted him. He's been badly wounded by looks based on the scars he has, but overall looks to be still in fighting shape as he seems to go around the crowd, giving pep talks here and there, gambling on occasion, and having a few drinks. You lot are stuck together and have never met. And we go into the scene.
I guess I'll be the first to introduce myself. I'm Jimla.
I'm Kalen.
Half-elf with slightly tan skin, brown hair, and blue eyes speaks up wearing simple leather armor with a hammer on one side and a finely made rapier on the other.
I'm
Have you cast a
Kalen.
quick spell or two?
God damn it! No. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Cameron, if you had more.
You go ahead. I can wait. We can discuss abilities later.
Kalen, a lot of people call me Spectre. You see a very pale-looking human. Let's see. I forgot to flip over. Bright blue eyes, shoulder-length white hair. In his mid-30s, about 6'2". And he's in plate, and is carrying a shield and looks like a ivory spear that's very ornate.
Okay. I'll give a little squeak. I'm a little 3-foot white rabbit with little amber eyes, with a little brass horn at my waist, and the name's Hawk.
You guys see like an Aarakocra, like an owl Aarakocra, He's got like fluffy white feathers that sort of become like a dappled like brown as they go down. And he's wearing like robes, and he's sitting like in some like probably a log or something, and he's got like a big like side pouch, and he's like checking like spell components, like little pieces of like eggshells and weird knickknacks and things like that for uses in spells. And he looks up and he waves. He's very friendly, and he says, "Hello, my name is Dura. It's very good to meet you all, my comrades." Yes,
I suppose we'll
Yeah.
do that for right now, at least.
that is excellent.
Okay. As you lot kind of get to know each other, you see your commander comes over. Again, you guys don't really mostly remember his name, as the men didn't really give it from what you recall. He seems to be a younger tiefling, flaming red hair, and just kind of gives a kind of sly smile, and goes, as he comes over, full plate, a very shiny, brand new sword. Almost all of his armor has no scratches or dents, and is very ornate looking. And the man comes over and just kind of sits down, kind of holding his head, looking down at the ground as he's trying to kind of cover his eyes a bit, and goes, "The name's Galar. I will be your commanding officer."
All right.
Nice to meet you.
So,
I'm good, sir.
here's the rules. Don't die, don't be a hero, and try and just get paid.
That's the general rules for all mercenary work.
That's the plan.
Alright.
Haven't died yet. They tried once, but it didn't take.
You too, huh?
Good, I've got comedians, of course.
You all have died before. This is very interesting. How did that work?
No, nearly.
That's
tried
a
to
story
bury me
for
in a
another
crypt.
day.
I will be glad to hear it.
Yeah, if you all survive, naturally. So here's what I've been told as he sits you lot down, kind of kicking at the fire a little bit with his boot. We've been informed that the Vanguard number is about 7,000. As you can probably guess from basic mathematics, that's a little bit more than we have. We're outnumbered. Most of the troops are experienced, as they were part of the little elvish war that Dragon's Gate had. The good news is they don't have many clerics, so we should be fine. But, with that in mind, I will mention that Tenem has been spotted leading the forces, alongside his old comrade, Greg, as many of you may know, the bloodthirsty mercenary, and ex-leader of the Crimson Talon. There have been a few other noteworthy, but nothing I think you'll have to worry about. His advisor's with him, and so is his wife, supposedly. I'm told to inform you that each of their heads are worth around 30,000 gold pieces, with Tenem being over 1,000,000, if you manage to cut him down. And if you manage to kill him personally, well, supposedly the Queen's consort has said that you'll be given anything you request. From items to lands
Question on that point.
Yeah?
What if he's permanently banished from the from this current plane of existence?
You gotta kill him. So if you send him to a plane that would kill him, then that counts as well. Just make sure you have someone to back you up in what you state.
All right, that'll be fun. I think a good challenge.
From what I understand, we are expecting backup, and the forces from some wizard with a bunch of giant warthogs in about a few days. But according to the Queen's consort, we ain't gonna last that long if we don't manage to knock these guys out. There's one cleric that is backing the entire army, as I mentioned, the King's advisor, but I don't think we have much to worry about with him. He is just a cleric after all. Yeah, and the battle is scheduled to begin by tomorrow. We'll be meeting. We'll be fighting outside of the village that we're, of course, staying next to. As he points behind, you guys see, of course, all have seen this village. It's really rather ran down. It's been abandoned for years, from what you can tell. Most of the roofs have caved in. Many of the houses are almost falling over as is. No real goods or anything around to see at this point. Anything worth stealing is what has been gone for a while, basically. And Galar just looks at you lot and goes, "So you got a single night to make do? You got any spells you need to prep? Prep them. I probably won't see you by tomorrow. Just follow the army and you'll figure it out." That's all I got for you. Any questions?
None here.
Not really after that first one.
No, sounds good.
All right. I will warn. Yes.
What is a consort?
Lover.
Yeah. Lover's a good way
Lover,
to put
husband,
it.
wife.
And the
The
tiefling
person they
lands.
constantly mate with.
And the tiefling lands. Queens that rule don't take kings. Kings that rule don't take queens. There's a single ruler. Here they just take consorts. It's a person who's married to you but doesn't have power. Although I wouldn't piss that one off. He's he's supposedly on par with Tenem himself, but that's how the rumors go. Also, he likes to walk around naked. Do not be offended. Do not look. Just run. Is my advice.
So he's a kinky bastard.
Yeah, and he has a weird sense of humor to him. Now, anybody here got any questions besides what a consort is? No? Good. Alright. As he gets the man kind of gets up, brushes himself off, and says, "Drink well, fight, and don't die. Have a good evening," as he turns and walks away to another camp.
At last, it sounded like he was an option.
Alright. You lot have the evening to the afternoon to yourselves. You know the battle is scheduled for the next day. You have no quests given to you. What would you lot like to do, if anything?
Well, may as well explore a bit and check out the terrain that we'll be fighting in from a distance if we can. If I can.
Okay. Does anybody kind of follow?
I'll do that as well. I'll pull up my my hood to my Elvenkind cloak.
Okay. All right. You see Hawk kind of slowly dissipate a bit more into the ground around him.
You know what, just for safety's sake, I'll roll stealth as well.
I'll take my advantage stealth roll.
Okay. As go ahead. And
23
roll.
for mine.
Good.
See if I can get higher than that. 25.
All right.
I'll come along too,
Okay.
except I have to use a
Good.
different button.
You're the distraction.
Got it.
Yep.
I will stay behind. I have spells to cast.
Okay.
You do your thing, wizard. I understand needing to prep some of them, but I don't really need to do much of that.
All right. As you lot begin heading out towards the battlefield, before we get to you, Dura Zariki, what spells are you prepping?
I'm going to be casting Contingency,
Okay.
which is a spell that I make a set of parameters, and if those parameters are hit, then the spell is cast.
Okay.
So the parameter is if I'm reduced to 0 hit points, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on myself at 5th level.
Okay. All right, that works. You'll keep track of that for yourself.
Yeah.
All right, works for me. Anything else?
And then, if I am allowed,
Mhm.
I would be going to a separate part of the area without other people, and using the spell Cone of Cold to make ice,
Mhm.
and then using the ice to cast Simulacrum.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
Smart. All right. Yeah, I'll allow that. That's fine by me. So as you kind of go into
Genius.
off to the little village, you see a couple of troops here and there, but most of the camp is outside of the little village and trying to kind of avoid it. Just mostly not trying to get in any trouble. And you find a small little farm field on the outskirts of it, managing to cast your cone of cold. I'm just pulling up the spell real quick that you were talking about. It's been a while. The last time this was cast... This is the one, if I remember right, that lets you create a clone of yourself, right? Out of
Yes.
snow?
Correct.
Okay. I'm starting to memorize these spells. It's sad. Alright. So as you cast this, you create a copy of yourself that comes out pretty well. Is there anything else you'd like to do as far as it goes?
No, that is all.
Okay. So this, the copy of yourself will act on the same turn as you do, just as a heads up. So please do keep track of that.
All right, yeah, I got it. I know. I've used this spell before.
Okay, just making sure because I've had people who've come up with that before. All right.
Yeah.
For the rest of the team, as you lot head off, kind of away from the camp, you see a few other soldiers are kind of doing the same thing. A lot more of the grizzled and what you'd expect of actual veteran soldiers, men and women who've fought before in battles, are heading off towards the battlefield. And as you guys come to it, it takes you about an hour walk from the camp. Walking through some brush and a couple of trees here and there, you come to a giant open grass field where most of the grass seems to be a strange kind of white color. Most of it seems to be lying down almost flat. As you walk on it, it seems to give off a strange ashy, gas of sorts. As you kind of smell it, just basically smells like really rich pollen overall. Most of the field looks to be untouched.
Sneezes instantly. Sneezes instantly.
As you continue to sneeze, and is it Gemalor, or say it again?
Gemlor.
Gemlor. Okay.
Gemlor.
Gemlor. Okay, got it. As you continue to sneeze, Gemlor, you notice your snot comes out a strange, kind of almost white color due to it, but it doesn't seem to actually affect your health. It just seems to cause you to sneeze.
Weird ass pollen. Got it.
Looking out and about, the field's pretty flat. You can see it's a little ways away from the hill where the dwarven camp of Dragon's Gate is set up, and you do start to recognize this as the majority was dwarvish. You see from this distance a couple of gnolls that are kind of walking around looking at the ground. Scouts from the enemy army, but they don't seem to be any interest in engaging you lot. You also do see a rather old-looking dwarf in a kind of ratty cloak with a very long white beard, kind of walking the field as well as he's waving to some of the tiefling soldiers that are also checking the field. He doesn't seem to be hostile in the slightest. He just seems to be generally doing his job by checking the place out.
I wish I had the right spells ready, because I just start making holes, because those can be used to dive into to get away from spells. Too sharp of a corner and they do nothing.
Is there anything you guys are looking for in particular at this point?
I'm going to look for any divots or really things in the ground that might be able to be used to hide a trap.
Okay, give me a perception check. Okay.
29.
All right. As you look around, you see a couple of bumps here and there, but nothing significant enough to hide anything into. And the grass is so laid thick down that you'd be pretty obvious to notice any sort of traps that were set up. This definitely.
By the way, since you guys are going to be
Go ahead.
fighting with me, we're going to have to be very careful. I do have a small trick up my sleeve. I'll inform you about it when we get back to camp, just because we're close enough that some spells might be able to hear what I'm saying.
As you say that, you see the very old dwarf waving, as he's kind of walking, or pulls out one of his a cane from under his cloak and is walking around.
My point made. But keep an eye out for spots that you might be able to hide a trap or an extra dagger pointing upwards, because even then, them stepping on something will throw them off.
Okay.
All right.
Hawk, is there anything you're looking for in particular?
Nope. I just want to make sure that none of the other people that walked out here get killed.
Okay. Well, it seems pretty much friendly. I mean, neither side is getting close to each other, but they're not being very aggressive towards each other.
More or less, in this point in time, it's scout the area, set your traps, and be ready for war.
Yeah, Hawk, give me a general history check. Or intelligence check, whichever works is higher for you.
They're literally the same.
Yep,
So
because it would be...
I'm not a high intelligence character. We're gonna say, 7. That's a 19 though.
Still higher than any time you've gotten done it with Bardress.
I'll be quiet.
So as you as you're kind of watching, you're pretty familiar. You've spent your time on a few battlefields here and there, doing mercenary work before. You're pretty experienced with the fact that most armies, most of the people who serve in those armies don't hate each other in any means. It's just kings and rulers going to war with each other. Typically, before the battle, most of the soldiers are somewhat friendly to each other. Now, I mean, there's not exactly like trade and hugs and such like that, but there's not much hostility overall before the battle begins, unless it's due to something like say a purge or something like that, or a genocidal war that has happened. And in this case, this is just a war between two rulers. That's the issue. So.
Okay.
As far as most people are going to view this is just someone trying to take over someone else.
Mm-hmm.
They don't hate us, we don't hate them. It's just here, it's a job.
All
That's
right.
all it is.
Spectre, is there anything you're looking for in particular?
First quick question. Are we less than 1,000 feet away from where we started?
Yes.
Okay. So he had actually used the Echo Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
So right now his Echo is actually out with the group while he's back in camp.
Okay.
He cannot speak through it, but he can hear and see everything.
Mm-hmm.
And looks just the same. But he's looking mostly just a quick scan of the area.
Mm-hmm.
And he's actually watching the rest of the group just to get a read on them. See what they're like, see how they handle themselves.
Well, I mean, it looks like both Hawk and Gemelor are both pretty confident in what they're doing and seem to understand how the battlefield works to you. So.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's all he's doing.
All right. After a little while of you guys looking about, eventually the dwarf does come over with a couple of gnolls and just kind of comes over to speak. Not really being hostile in the slightest. You do realize he's a little bit older, or on the older side, and he seems to have darker skin and very pale white beard. Looks like a man who's probably spent a lot of days working at a forge, most likely by his appearance. Not really fearing any of you lot. He just seems to walk up, and the gnolls seem to be very passive as well, as they're just kind of following around, taking his orders. This man's probably some sort
Just
of
giving
officer.
a kind wave.
Yeah, okay.
Just giving a kind hey wave.
Hey,
What's up?
he kind of comes over and he looks at you and goes, I could have sworn I saw a smaller one of you, but, I take it you guys serve the, Silver Raven, huh?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
some good coin, especially, and some other good benefits if we win.
I hear the same on our side. It's a shame, really. So many people must die today. I'm not happy to see that.
It's never good to see war. If you look at me, I'm half, so I get to see it twice as often.
That's fair. Well,
From behind him, I want to pull off my cloak and just say, "You were looking for me?"
as you kind of walk behind him, he goes, he doesn't even turn, he just responds, he goes, young folk, you lot are always surprising.
Yeah, I was surprised when the rabbit talked too, but learn to roll with the things.
Grown at my age, and very little surprises you. Although, it was shocking when I was conscripted into the military. I'm old. Why would you want a man like me? I guess maybe our kings.
I'm the one because they're magical.
No, I mean I know a couple clerical spells here and there, but nothing of value. Nothing above first level, from what I've been told. And to be honest, all I do is work a forge. I'm too old for this kind of crap, you know? Last time I fought a war was 100, 200 years ago at this point. But,
Yeah.
you know, the older you get, as he kind of... You can definitely tell he's got a bad back as he's struggling just to hold on to his cane as he's walking around. But,
You know what? I'm gonna just give him a pitying look. Be like, honestly, it'd probably be better for you to just run the moment the action really starts. So if you're the one that they're referring to as the cleric back at our camp, then they might aim for you first.
Well, I'm the only cleric they got.
Pity to see the old fall like that.
Well, you know, after the whole thing with the clerics in Dragon's Gate being wiped out during one of the battles with those damn elves, no offense.
I don't take any. I'm part mountain elf. My ancestor was very promiscuous,
That's fair. That's fair.
so I'm used to getting hate from everybody.
Well, I respect you a lot for you youngins fighting. I wish you the best of luck tomorrow. I'm gonna... And he kind of starts to turn slowly and looks down at Hawk and goes, huh, so rabbit folk. Got it. And he kind of starts to crutchily walk around him very slowly.
Yeah, I'll get out of his way. and I'll
Very
start walking
slowly.
Yeah, it takes him a while, but
I'm
he
gonna
starts
head back
walking
to
away.
camp too.
Okay.
I will head back as well. No point.
I take it, Hawk and Spectre, do you do the same?
Yeah.
Well, Hawk said he was going first. That's what I'm like. I'm following Hawk back. It's
Alright. As you lot head back to camp, you know, you see a few tiefling soldiers talking here and there. Most of it's just talking about the grassy field, and you hear whispers of worry about the polleny ash getting in the air and make it really confusing to see who is where. But otherwise, you know, not much else catches your attention from the discussion amongst
at
the
that
soldiers.
point when hearing that it's Polony Ash, Game Lord just does a fist onto his hand, like, that's an idea. I'll talk to the wizard, but that could be a very good idea for getting rid of a lot of them very quickly.
That's fair. Alright. As you lot return to camp, you find a little area where you see... Dora Zoriki, are you in your clone of yourself sitting at the camp together, or do you have your clone in the tent?
Yes, we are having a very enlightening conversation.
Okay. What are you two conversing
He's
about?
talking to himself.
He's giving me a second look at some of my equations.
Okay.
See, I am pointing to my spell book. He says, no, you are forgetting to carry the 2. And I say, right, but in this situation, in necromancy, you do not have the 2s. And he says, well, I'm afraid I do not. You get the picture.
Yes. As you two conversing and very passively arguing with or having an enlightened argument with each other.
Yes.
Game Lord's gonna walk up, look at them both, and be like, okay, I don't care which one of you is the royal wizard, I don't really care. I have an idea, I should run it by you.
We are having a
That
Socratic
pollen out there
seminar.
might light easily.
What?
The pollen out there might light pretty easily. There's a lot of ashy pollen. There's a chance that we could use it to cause a widespread fire on the enemy's side. They're probably thinking about the same thing. So they may wet it, we need to be careful.
Okay. I do not have
Now,
fire magic though.
I do. Don't worry about lighting it. I'm worried about the caution it's going to take to warn the others.
Oh.
So if you see the captain, let him know, too. The guy who's in charge of us,
Okay.
at least.
Can do that.
Now, I suppose we should go around and spill out some of our secrets. The abilities that are most dangerous to our comrades here.
I do not have any secrets. I am a.
Well, do you have anything you can do that might put us in danger?
I have a lot of spells that could catch a ally in the crosshairs, but I do not use those very often. I try to lift others up more than myself. Hurt. Or heal rather than hurt.
Alright, that's good. You there, Spectre. How about you go next? Anything you can do that we should worry about? Or any items that can do things that we should worry about?
You actually, when you ask that, he doesn't say anything back right away, but then he actually like just blinks out of existence. And from like around the corner, he's like, nah, nothing that I can think of.
What about you, Hawk?
I can summon a bunch of insects that'll start biting everything in range.
That is terrifying.
Uh-huh.
Alright, I should spill the two things I got then. I can cast spells and I have a lot of AoE as well. Take caution of that. But my main thing is this hammer and this sword. The hammer, if I strike it on a hard surface, I can create an area where if you take damage, the person who hit you is going to take as much damage. But the same rule applies for you hitting that person.
As you
Sword trick.
As are having this conversation, I will mention there is a cook coming around, kind of filling your guys' pot that's on the fire. As it's got the sun is starting to go down as well.
I'll inform the cook to try and warn everybody that they might use the pollen for fire.
The cook looks at you and goes, "I'm a cook. The fuck do I care?" And goes back to doing his job.
No, yeah, that's fair.
Enough.
No, yeah.
Figured he want. Fair, but after he's gone, I simply say, I have 2 wishes I can use to try and get us out of any tight spot. So, if we come across one of the big guys, there's a chance I can get them out of there. Or
Also,
at least get us away.
I don't eat because I have timeless body. I have no reason to.
Fair.
I don't need food or
I
water.
eat your portion, goddammit.
Yeah, you can have it. Go for it. I don't need it.
Yes, Doraziriki?
I was going to ask, you do not eat.
Not at all.
This is fascinating.
When the energy gets strong enough, you no longer need it.
Energy.
You're one of those practitioners of ki.
Yes, indeed.
Key. I remember reading about this. Very
Interesting.
interesting.
Using life energy in that way.
It's like a physical magic. It's great. Makes the body stronger. Makes me faster.
I punch things hard enough, I can create a fireball.
See, now you're getting the idea.
I mostly just hit things, but I can also do this. And as I say this, you have a tap on your shoulder, Jamlar, and you see a copy of me standing behind you.
Are you unstuck
My
in
main
time?
thing is,
It's something like that. The best that I've been able to figure out is it's a different potential of myself that I'm able to pull. And
Time
the
magic.
second disappears. It's
I want to
Something like
paint
that.
the ashy fields.
You want to what?
I'm proficient with painter supplies. I want to paint the ashy fields.
Do you have painter supplies on your character?
Yes, I do.
Alright, as Hawk pulls out his painting gear, little easel, little thing of paper, or canvas stapled down to a little wood frame, nailed down to a little wood frame. He starts to paint. Give me a performance check.
while he's doing that, I'm gonna bring up
Do I get to add my
our
proficiency?
dear mage.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's an
I'm gonna
11.
look at our dear mage with. Oh, God.
Yeah, it comes out. I mean, everyone recognizes the shape, but it's definitely no piece you'd hang up.
No. I don't paint to be great. I paint to
It's a
relax.
child's drawing.
No, it's a little better than that. All right. Yeah, if you begin to paint, that'll take you the rest, a good portion of the evening. So,
Well, I'm gonna look at our mage and be like, our magic user, whose name keeps slipping my mind,
Duda?
and Gura, and simply create a mage hand in front of him, which is actually a different color due to my subclass. It's actually opaque blue. I can create mage hands that are mildly visible, if I want them to be, or invisible. I flick, I snap my fingers, it becomes invisible. And I'm proficient with using them to gain things that shouldn't be mine.
Are you,
But I can also use them to help my allies.
Magic.
I was just going to
Yes,
say,
I
you're a
know a few
spell
spells. No, I can't. Well, I can steal spells to cast on them sometimes, but it all depends. I can also use them to boost my allies. I may have that hand on that guy for most of the time if he stays at range, and I point at my hand and I point at Spectre, and it'll help him out.
Ah. Okay.
Or I may have it on the monk there.
Very well.
all right. As the sun goes down and it gets to the darkness, you see someone coming around, some sort of tiefling servant, you're guessing, walking around lighting the fires in the little torches that are sticking out of the ground in front of each of the tents.
Are there? Okay, with the ones in front of us, I'm just gonna snap and firebolt each of them, getting them lit real quick.
Okay. As you do so, the kid kind of looks at it, looks at you, and then continues on his way.
As it's getting dark, if any of you have dark vision and Spectre ever walks out of the light enough that your dark vision kicks in, he disappears.
Oh,
And then
well, I see that.
reappears again.
Okay.
The feature of the
Interesting.
Gloomstalker.
Yep, I remember now. Okay. All right. As you lot kind of relaxing at this point, Hawk finishing up his painting, Galar comes back and sits back down. His armor still just as shiny. In fact, for many of you, it's a little too bright. And sits down next to Dora Zariki while he's holding what looks to be a very cheap mug of beer. And a bowl of some sort of strange meat that none of you can seem to recognize. And he looks at you lot and goes, all right, well, get some sleep, don't die, and if we're attacked, just don't die. And he stands back up, drinks the beer, throws the food in the fire, and walks off.
Before he walks off, I'm gonna inform him
What a nice
of
fellow.
the pollen possibly being used against us.
I'll be fine. It's too high above my pay grade to worry about.
Oh no, I'm thinking we could turn it back on them. If we have any mages that can get fire a while,
Oh,
and it
yeah.
burns easily,
All
why not
those,
use it in reverse?
all those mages we have. Yeah, that's why we're hiring mercenaries. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Some of the mercs will probably have magic too. Just ask them.
Maybe.
Some of them may not have thought of it.
Could be. Ain't my
Hawk's gonna
job.
look at the,
Save their asses and get them enough heads to pay for the rest of their lives.
Alright.
Hawk will look at the man, but think about how much you'd be promoted if you could pull this off with the random mercenary mages you have.
Yeah, I could, but it's kind of hard when your great uncle was the previous emperor that kind of got the previous empress killed, almost. Not really looking like I'm gonna be getting promoted anytime soon. I already lost the nobility thing, but I'll keep it in mind.
Ability isn't all that matters.
Ah, yes, living as a
Yeah,
poor
you
man
got
is,
this, man.
is great. And he turns and just goes back to walking back to the other camp.
Oh. I was going to say, sorry. It's lost.
All right. So as the evening comes and night has begun, you see a lot of the troops have headed to their tents. Some soldiers have gone out and started walking the path or walking around the camp, kind of as a sentry unit. The army doesn't seem to be very expecting too much. They don't seem to be on edge at all from from the overall. And off in the distance, you all can see very clearly the fires from the camps up on the hill. That's a good while, about a good 2 hour hike away at least. So as the night goes
How
on,
steep
yes.
is the hill?
Pretty steep from what you were able to see when you
How
were over by there. You'd guess a 75-degree angle to climb up that hill. It's definitely not going to be easy for
Okay,
anybody in
good
play.
to know.
All right.
Good to know.
All right. Is anybody going to sleep for the night?
I'm gonna rest. May as well
Yeah.
close my eyes, sleep in hour shifts off and on.
Okay.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. I heard Hawk as well. Zoriki.
My clone is going to share the watches with me
Okay.
so that we both get some sleep.
Okay. Does your clone have to sleep?
I do not.
I don't think it technically
Recall.
does have
I would
to.
assume no, because
Yeah.
it's made of.
Yeah, I don't think it technically has to sleep, so I think you're
Eh.
fine.
Then. Yeah, he will watch for me.
Okay. Alright. As you lot head off to your sleep with Jamel or I'm never gonna get this right. And Dorazariki's clone staying awake throughout the night. Jamelor, of course, waking up every other hour. The night goes on. It's pretty quiet overall. Dorazariki and Jamelor, give me perception checks when you get the chance, please.
I will wake up in the middle of the night because I have dark vision and night watch.
Yeah, that's fine. There was no watch schedule set up, by the way.
That's why I'm.
No, but it's best if someone watches, and I have dark vision. So
26.
That's why I'm going off and on for hours.
Alright, Dorazariki, your clone doesn't see
Expertise.
anything besides dark trees and lots of fire. The fires going on kind of dim the vision, naturally. Jamelor, after you've kind of woken up around 3 a.m.-ish, as the sun's just starting to peak due to the time of year, you see off in the distance a rather large army, maybe about, you'd say, less than half an hour away from you. And they're all in what looks to be either leather or scale mail coming straight towards you, as well as a
And
very
I'm gonna
large
start
dwarf.
raising the alarm.
Alright, how are you going to raise the alarm?
Let's see, cantrips. Well, I don't have anything good for cantrips, so I am going to just shout it out at the top of my lungs and wake everybody up immediately.
you know what wakes people up? I've got this.
As you
The
go
screams
to,
of the enemy.
as you go to yell, let me just check something real quick.
Waking up the rabbit person, use the the rabbit's banshee screech as an alarm.
As soon as
You've
you
never
go
heard a rabbit scream. You don't.
to yell, you seem to not be able to.
There's a silence spell.
So we're sure it's the enemy, right?
You are
And
not.
it's not some kind of threat. Ooh.
I'm
I'm gonna stealth and go out there. I want to be sure it's an enemy before I attack somebody.
Well,
I'd rather not stab an ally.
at this point, you're still technically you sleep. You went to sleep, correct?
I'm gonna shake everybody in the tent.
Okay.
I'm
I
gonna
said
shake
we-
everybody in the tent awake.
All right. As Jamelor comes running back in and starts shaking everyone awake, Kalen, Dura, and Jamelor. Actually, all of you, give me Arcana checks.
My specialty.
I hope so. 28. Good to see. 18. All right. 13. All right.
Probably so. Tie it to Grandpa, fill it with helium, and it will lift him to the surface for us. Wait, and the helium tank to the dog.
I
Hold
like
on
this
his way.
plan.
I'm on it.
I like this plan. The helium.
All right. That is gonna be something that's gonna be clipped in the future. Little Einsteins, there we go. As Gemelor wakes up or kind of starts to shake everyone awake, you all, minus Gemelor, who rolled an 8, manage to sense that there is magic all around you being cast. Dura Zariki with such a high score. You know exactly the spell, and that is that someone casts silence on the entirety of the camp. Which would
Jeez.
normally be impossible.
On the entire camp.
Yes. Which
I think so.
you gathered that the entire camp probably ranged for about 3 miles. I mean, it's pretty big and spread out.
Cannot cast spells because cannot speak.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to spread my wings and soar
Mm-hmm.
as far as I can get 50 feet into the air and see if I can speak then.
All right. As you go to fly up, give me a dexterity saving throw.
Uh-oh. Is this for magic?
No.
Okay. I got a 21.
All right. As you manage to fly up, you immediately catch the eye of a bunch of arrows flying towards you, and you manage to dodge and weave through a majority of them, thankfully, not taking any damage. The few that do hit you seem to manage to bounce off your very minuscule armor, and go dropping to the ground. And yeah, as soon as you get up to the 50 feet, you can speak once more.
I'm going to try and cast Dispel Magic on the silence.
All right. Give me a minute. What level are you casting Dispel Magic?
Oh, I think
Strong spell. Big strong spell.
I will try 7th.
All right. As you do so, let me just check something real quick. Because I have something written down real quick. Okay. As you cast Dispel Magic, go ahead and give me a basically a spellcaster ability check, please.
Yeah. That is not good. 16.
You manage to succeed as the spell immediately dissipates, and you suddenly hear shouting, screams of pain, and as you look down, you can see that there are enemy soldiers within your camp as people are being attacked in their tents. And suddenly a very loud bell starts ringing off in the distance, as the army you saw earlier starts charging towards towards the camp directly.
Oh no.
Everyone roll initiative. Alright. So an 11 for Dora. Oops. God damn it. Keep the game log.
I get a 17
17.
because I have advantage.
Yes. Alright. 9 for the Spectre. Jamelor, a 19.
Also, I have to make this point that if they try to attack me before my turn, they have disadvantage due to the hand.
That's fair. Hawk, 16. Got it. Alright, and we start the roll. Immediately, as you lot are still in your tent, all but Dura Zariki, a man comes...
Want to watch some bubble guppies?
I do not want any bubble guppies. I'm good.
Yeah.
Not
A man comes charging into your guy's tent, and looking around, you see it. This is a very short and kind of rough-looking dwarf with no beard and no hair on his head, seeming to be wearing very heavy plate that gives off strange, almost kind of aggressive feeling magic.
Can I roll a history check on that?
On the
To see if he's someone important?
Sure, go ahead and roll history.
No, on the person. See if he's someone important. See if he's an important person.
Go ahead.
That's an 11. I know nothing.
Yeah, this is a dwarf of note.
I got 16.
Yeah, this is Greg the Bloodthirsty. You just
Oh,
found
hell
one of
yeah,
the
let's do
commanders as he
Oh, hell yeah.
immediately goes charging at the biggest or the scariest
Come on.
looking threat of the Spectre and is going to immediately take a hit or a charge at him. And does a 15 hit
Nope.
on the first one? All right, as he goes to a strike again, does a 28 hit?
That does.
All right. I know a 13 doesn't. And the last one, a 17, does that hit?
Nope.
So he gets one hit off on you with his mace as he goes to attack, and that is 8 points of magic bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
All right. And let me see just to make sure that is all he can do. It is... Oh, he is actually going to take one of his action surges and is immediately going to try and hit you again for a 31. That is a nat 20, which does not confirm, thankfully. So we're just going to... That's 9 plus 8. So 17 points of bludgeoning damage. As he just smacks the hell out of you with his mace. Oh, wait. One sec. Oh, no, that's not down. Okay. He unfortunately doesn't have a piercing weapon, which is bad for his min-maxing. And that is all he does, as he just kind of looks at you with a grim glare on his face. Jamelor, you are up. As you see, Greg the Bloodthirsty just smacked the Spectre in the face a few times.
Okay. Well, he's attacked, but But if I have advantage, then I can do something. So I'm gonna get behind him and flank with my rapier.
Okay. All right.
And so I'm gonna get sneak attack for this. So that's gonna be fun. So first I'll roll to hit.
Okay.
11. Does 21 hit?
21 does hit.
Good news. That's 1d8 plus 5, which I'm rolling now, which is 9, and then the 10d6 sneak attack damage, which is 33, so 42 damage in total.
All right, as you
With
manage
just
to
my action.
As you manage to slam into his back, I mean, he seems to irk forward as you're attacking with your sword, or
My rapier.
yeah. As you manage to find a weak point in his armor, it goes right through and stabbing him into the arm. I mean, it cuts into him, and he screams out in pain as he's now kind of turned his head slightly and is glaring at you.
And then bonus action. Let me see what I can do real quick. I don't think I have many things that I can do as a bonus action, other than I'm gonna duck away and hide.
Okay. As you duck away,
Because I have the mobile feat, I have the mobile feat, so if I've attacked him, I don't have to disengage. He can no longer attack me.
Okay. All right. As you do so, the man seems to ignore you. Are you gonna roll stealth to hide?
Yep, 22.
All right. He does not. He seems to look around and doesn't seem to recognize where you went. As that happens, though, anything else, Jamelor, or is that it for you?
That's it. That's undetermined. I play it real.
A normal dwarven
Stab and hide
soldier
is...
seems to come charging into the room. He looks to be pretty, in just normal plate. Looks a little weaker, and he's going to immediately start charging in at you. Give me a minute to find a dice. There we go. And he is going to try and attack Spectre once again, realizing he's the only person that looks at all dangerous. So that is
I'm going to kill you.
a 14 to hit.
Nope.
Spectre, nope. All right.
Shooting for a 24.
All right. Well, he tries again with his second attack and gets even less. So as he swings twice, failing terribly, and he just kind of looks confused as you manage to dodge twice. Okay.
Greg is going to turn around and smack him for being inadequate.
As a reaction?
No, Greg would. I said.
Oh, no. All right. And as this is going on, you hear someone casting something. You can see a very large-looking dwarf, a very long white beard with like gold in it, and two weapons on his back. One being what looks to be a very large halberd and the other being a giant greatsword. As he seems to be speaking some words of magic and casts firebolt onto the tent, causing it to light up immediately and burn away. And as soon as it starts to burn, you all see the man you've come to kill, Tenem himself, as he is shooting left and right different enemies as they are coming charging at him. Men are falling from a single shot from his eldritch cannon. Alright. That is his turn. Dura Zoriki, you are up.
This is a very tense situation. I will cast
Thanks.
Big B's hand, and a big hand, I get it, will appear right next to the general, and it is going to it is going to grasp him. So
Grass Tenem?
no, not Tenem. He's the
The other dwarf?
one that yes.
Okay, gotcha. Alright.
He-
Firmly grasp it.
Shut up.
I'm going to make a strength check with the hand stats.
Alright, does he have to make a saving throw?
He has to make an athletics or acrobatics check. The
Alright.
DC is 23.
He got a 28.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
As the hand kind of dissipates from around him and he breaks very easily, and you have his attention as he is glaring up at you, foam coming out of his mouth.
Please do not foam at me, sir. I do not have any qualm with you. That was my
Okay.
bonus action. So it moves. No, I still have my bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
So I will. I do not have anything with my bonus action. I lied. That is the end of my turn.
Add a sorcerer. You can't make your
simulacrum-
spells faster.
He will cast. He will go over, and he will cast Holy Weapon on. We will do it on the bunny's feasts.
On the bunny's fist. Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
the bunny,
Mhm.
Hawk,
Yeah.
you your fists do an extra 2d8 radiant
Oh,
whenever you
perfect.
hit with them.
Oh,
There you go.
good.
That is my
Rabbit boy.
Alright. As your fists start to glow, Hawk, when you can feel the wind at your back suddenly. Alright, two more dwarves are going to come charging up as you see more of the army continues to move in. You lot were one of the closest tents to the battlefield at that point. They are going to immediately start attacking towards... now who they see immediately still is Spectre, as Jamelor and Hawk are still both hidden. And they can't reach Durazuriki. Well, a 9 doesn't hit from the first attack on the first one. And another 16 does not hit for the second. Okay, for the next one's attack, he is also going to swing twice, and I'm just going to save myself some... the second one manages to slam himself in the face with his own mace as it goes down, bouncing off the ground, off of a rock, and back into his head, killing himself instantly. You just see Greg kind of look at Spectre, and then look down at the dead dwarf and just shake his head. There's a whole battle as you're hearing around you. People are fighting, screaming, and dying. And this man just managed to kill himself with his own warhammer. Hawk, after watching this great fight of this man with a single rock, you realize you have a chance to move. What would you like to do?
So Hawk, not realizing they might not have noticed him, is very insulted that he's not seen as a threat. He's going to rush Greg the Bloodthirsty for a flurry of blows.
All right.
So I'll roll each one to see if they hit. I have a plus 11. I'm really gonna hope. That's a 19.
That does not hit.
That's a 22.
That hits.
And that last one is another 19. Well,
You get one hit on him. It's not that
no,
Greg's
technically,
dodging it.
I can take a fourth swing because of attack. I have 2 attacks per action, but
Yeah. I mean, and you realize Greg's not dodging it. You're just hitting his armor.
yeah.
As
Yeah,
the
this is
second
what
one
happens
finally...
when
Bring it in, Kang.
Look, I'm 3 feet tall. Leave me alone.
As you watch, his hawk kind of bounces up and smacks
for the
him in
ankles!
face.
Okay, well, the one hit that hits, the base damage is 12, and then I get 2d8 radiant,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Okay.
Dang, that's 28 possible total
And
damage.
11 more for radiant damage.
All right.
So that's 23 damage.
As you knock Greg in the nose, you see his nose starts to slightly bleed, and the blood glows. He looks really annoyed at you.
So I'm going to make one more attack roll because I can.
Uh-huh.
We're going to see if this hits. I'm going to really hope because I have a great plan. So 21, I'm actually going to bite him.
Oh, okay.
So I can do that because of Vermin Shroud.
Uh-huh.
My teeth are very, very sharp.
Okay.
It does 1d6 plus strength, which isn't going to be a lot, but he does have to make a con save.
Okay.
But your bite is not enchanted.
He gets a 15 for the con save.
He fails.
Okay.
He indeed fails. So because of that, he is poisoned for a minute.
Oh, well, as you bite down, all right, go ahead and roll your damage.
It's not going to be much. I just wanted the poison. Yeah, only 3 damage, but I got the poison.
As
That's what
you
matters.
bite down, you see him you see his nose looks kind of funky now that you've bitten into it. There's a nice good mark on there. And he just kind of looks at you, blows his nose out, and then you immediately see the poison kind of go flying out, and he smiles and goes, I ain't gonna have that as an issue.
Now, because of mobile, I'm going to back off.
All right.
And I
Mobile
want,
feet for the win.
I want to stealth, and I have advantage.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your stealth.
Let's see, that's a 30.
Yeah, no, he doesn't see where you went. Now he looks even more
I lowered
confused.
to 29. Awesome.
Okay. Another dwarf comes charging in, looking for easy targets. Rolling twice, still trying to hit Kalen as he's watched everyone else do it. And the highest he gets is a 21 to hit.
Nope.
As the man goes swinging, and somehow Mr. Spectre here is managing to dodge every hit. However, he is still going to be bum rushed by other dwarves. And again, nothing higher than a 21, as these men just can't seem to hit him. As the third one comes in to try now, not having anybody else to hit. And for fuck's sake, I can't roll anything above a fucking 10.
The curse of Bardrus is come.
All right, well.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
All right. Lastly, comes in a very large-looking knight, in full armor, having seen Hawk and still seeing Hawk, and both seeing Hawk and Gemelor. Yes, there's an item that they have, but you can't see it. As she or he comes charging at you with a giant staff with a very strange-looking design to it. It looks to be a halberd, but it's very dark wood with a strange, rounded, sharp tip and 2 very large, sharp, circular objects at the bottom of it. And it's inscribed with something in Dwarvish. Does anybody here read Dwarvish?
I do.
Okay. Hawk?
Yep.
All right. For the rest of
And Kalen.
all right. So Kaylin and Hawk, yeah, you read it says the Moby on it.
No!
And Dwarvish, as it comes charging at you, casting grease all over Hawk.
Get it away from me.
Hawk, I need a dexterity saving throw from you.
I'm great at these. That's an 18.
Yeah, you managed to fail, as you are now covered in grease.
Well, don't worry. I can add a D4. I can keep trying.
Okay.
I don't want to be covered in grease. I'm gonna be honest. That's that's plus 3, so that's a 21.
You still fail, so DC was 22. You are now covered in grease as she comes to thwomp you with her Moby. That is a 24 to hit.
Yep.
Okay, that does 10 points. Plus... give me a minute. I have to roll the acid damage. So you take 10 points of bludgeoning damage, along with... 1 point of acid damage.
I'm going to kill this person.
With her...
I didn't hurt, but I don't want to be greased.
With her third attack, give me a minute. Let me just check something. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot that this character fucking has all this stuff. Oh no. Yeah, she's just gonna try and swing at you again with a nat 20 to confirm, fails to confirm, so that is just 2 things of dice. That for a total of 19 points of bludgeoning damage and 8 points of of acid damage for her third attack. And for the fourth, that's a 22 to hit.
Yep.
Alright, and that is 9 points of bludgeoning damage plus another 3 points of acid damage. And as she sets the Moby down, she glares at you, and through the armor you can see a very wry smile on her face. And all you hear is, "Now you're my little lubed rabbit."
What the fuck does that even mean?
You'll never know.
It is very kinky.
Spectre, you are up. As you are surrounded by really weak dwarves and 2 very angry-looking commanders.
Before we rushed out of the tent, after we had the
You're still
bells
in the
ringing.
tent at this point. The tent's just gone.
Okay. Did I have enough time to cast a spell before they rushed up?
You would not have had a chance.
Okay, just checking. Then for my bonus action, I will bamf out my echo. And I will place it next to the person carrying the Moby.
Okay.
And then it'll take a second to run through all of these attacks.
You gods. Who are you striking specifically? The person with
I
the Moby?
will. Well, I'm just getting the echo out there right now. I will strike Greg.
Okay.
Or Craig, whatever.
No, Greg, you had it right. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So first attack. Probably not a hit on that one. 16.
That does not hit.
Okay. Second attack. $33.
That hits. Yeah. No. Is that a nat? Oh, almost a nat 20.
Almost.
All right.
And I got to double check. I do the normal damage plus 1d8. So I am doing one-handed, so it's going to be this plus 2d8.
All right. So 12 points on the first one.
Where's my d8? And plus the 14 for that attack.
All right. As you manage to smack into him a few times, he looks a little bothered. He's not happy about this now.
Okay. Let's see. That was 2 attacks. Third attack. Roll. 32.
Yeah, that hits.
So we'll
Can't
do
confirm. Jesus.
that plus 2 more d8.
13 and 7.
Okay. Now because of Dread Ambusher,
Mm-hmm.
My first round, I can do 1 extra attack,
Okay.
and that will do some extra damage as well. 25.
That hits. Jesus.
Roll. And then again, the 2d8 from the weapon.
Jesus. Yeah, Greg's spitting up blood now a bit, and he has definitely acknowledged you as the threat.
Okay, and then as part of my echo being out, I can make, because I took the attack action, I can do an extra attack with the echo.
Mm-hmm.
So this attack will be against the Moby wielder.
Okay.
We all know the name of it at this point.
Maybe. 32?
I'm sorry.
Hits, yeah.
I
So
have
we'll
an
do
educated guess.
Oh, I guess I rolled that into rejected here. Would be 13. Actually, I don't know how to add that one. Hang on, because it totals it weird there when I have to add the damage from the weapon.
So 9
So
and...
9 plus 5 for 14.
Okay.
And I have not moved.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll get to take my second action. I will do attack action again.
Okay.
So 3 more attacks plus my echo attack.
Okay.
17 probably doesn't
Does
hit.
not hit.
Greg.
Nope.
Yeah. Second attack of the... Oh, nope, that one doesn't.
Nope.
And one more. That hopefully does. 26.
That hits.
So roll.
And this is still on Greg.
Yep.
11. All right.
Plus the 12, and then my echo attack again, which will be on the Moby. Ooh, nat 20.
All right. Roll to confirm.
Roll. Kill them. Kill them. Kill them.
Nope.
Kill them.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I am just going to run all this here, so it'll be 2d6 and 4d8. Roll.
You're not eating the dogs that are
21
points
points
of
to
damage.
the Moby.
All right.
And yeah, that is my turn.
Okay. All right. As you manage to start just beating on Greg left and right, and he's now like spitting up blood, really having a hard time of it at this point. The DM needs to take a quick second to run to the restroom, so you guys get a second to plot while he does that. BRB.
I'm going to do the same. I'm just going to continue what I'm doing.
Somebody get this grease off of me, please. I don't have a way to do it myself.
If I can see 10 of them, I can end this all in about 5 seconds.
He's right outside. We can see him.
If he's within my view, guess what? I'm going to use Wish and banish him somewhere he'll die. I just have to
I wouldn't be
basically
surprised.
wish for him to go into a Denny plane that is devoid of oxygen.
I wouldn't be surprised to get some way to come back, I'm gonna be honest.
He might, but I'm going to wish just him there. Nothing he is holding. Nothing on him or that he is holding.
That's worth a shot.
Yeah, and then my next wish is going to be, I'm going to wish the army entirely dead.
I see.
Those are the options I have. I can do one of them per each turn if I move, because I do intend on still moving.
All right.
Or I
DM is
attack
back.
and try and finish off Greg.
I am back as well.
Okay. So, as you manage to start beating on Greg, you see that cleric before, the older cleric, comes kind of charging down and looks at you lot, kind of confused about the whole situation, and looks, seeing that Kalen was the main attacker in the situation. He immediately casts banishment on Kalen.
I am going to try and counterspell that.
Okay. Give me a moment. That is a roll on your end. Let me just pull it up real quick to see what you need to roll to get the DC for.
Oh no, I rolled a 7. That will not banish anything.
I'd like to counterspell as well.
Oh.
Okay, we've got 2 counterspell attempts. Okay, one sec. DC equals 10 plus.
So I roll a
Give me minute.
d20 plus 4, my spell modifier.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, leave me a second. Okay. D&D Beyond doesn't like me pulling up the dice for some reason right now. Roll it, because there's no button there. I rolled a 7 as well. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, in both cases,
You're
it
banished.
doesn't
Amazing.
work. So, Kaylin, you find yourself banished.
Well, do I have a save or not?
Oh, yes, sorry. I need a saving throw from you. Yes, charisma.
Okay.
Thank you.
Charisma.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's my worst one, so.
You got this, man. You'll
Roll high.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Probably not.
You missed it by 1 point. It was a 17 as he's using his 9th level spell.
Do I have a way to help him?
Worst thing is I rolled a 17, but I have a -1.
Yep, you find yourself. So luckily, you get sent to a giant library where you see a very large dragon just sitting there enjoying reading a book. A couple statues moving around. You have been banished to a very harmless plane. Thankfully.
That's where I wanted to go, as Ardris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are now stuck here. And
For a minute.
Yep, for basically 2 rounds.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, he's probably been banished before fighting, so.
Yep,
Yeah.
and then this person is going to cast heal on Greg using his 1 spell slot on 8th level, and Greg immediately recovers all 100, or at least 100 HP. And that is the only thing that this person can do. Alright. So, as you watch as 3 more dwarven lower warriors come charging at you as a thing of arrows comes flying out, managing to crit all 3. Fuck. As you see the man who's supposed to be commanding
Wait, I'm
you
under.
Sorry?
Is he critting? Are we getting critted?
No, it was not you.
Oh, the enemy.
Yes, as 3 of the
Okay.
dwarven warriors come charging at you, in similar outfits to the one that managed to kill himself earlier by launching his warhammer at a rock and then back into his face. You see the tiefling commander coming out with a rather large bow and manages to fire, not at point blank range, but a couple feet away, managing to hit all 3 dead straight in the forehead, killing all 3 instantly. Because he crit confirmed.
Am I get the promotion yet?
Yeah, no, and at the next top of the initiative, Greg is up. By the way, that means now, Kaylin, you have 1 more round. Greg, looking around, pissed that Kaylin's gone, looks at the rabbit who bit his nose. I mean, this is the man who's very proud of his nose.
I'm very proud of that bite.
He is going to start smacking at Hawk.
It's probably gonna hurt really bad.
I don't think so. 13, does that hit?
No.
Does another 13 hit?
Magically, yes. No. No.
How about a 21?
Start taunting.
That's barely. I have 20.
Alright, he does 10 points of damage to you on his Mace of Smiting on his 3rd attack. And on his last one, an 18, does that hit?
No.
Alright, he's being pissed that his nose has been bitten, is going to use his last action surge to, again, smack at the rabbit.
Right before he swings, I'll bite it again. I'm gonna tell him that. I'll bite it again.
He rolls and gets a 29 to hit.
Ow.
No.
And does 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
I was really with 1. I was gonna be like, oh.
He rolled a 1, but it gets a +4.
Oh.
Let's see, and just checking. And since he hasn't moved, he's going to use his bonus action. He is going to grab his necklace, and he is going to use a few or 5 charges of it to cast Fireball at his feet. Everyone minus.
I'm gonna dodge that. All of that.
Everyone minus Dara and Caitlin, please give me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, well, good news. If I fail, I can try again. Yeah, how's a 26 looking?
That's a dex saving throw, right?
Yes, and that succeeds.
So I take no damage because of evasion.
Oh, that's all right. Well, that just saved you.
Okay, I'm talking to Royce now.
All right.
Let me get my saving throws. Dex plus 11. 25.
You also succeed.
Plus evasion, so I take no damage.
Okay, so literally no one takes any damage other than Greg and the fucking. Okay.
Me and Jimlor just jump out of the way.
Nuke yourself, boy.
As each of the dwarven soldiers burn to death around Greg, goddamn! Oh my god, the amount. Oh, he just killed like all of his support.
Yo, nice fireball, man.
He
Go on, Greg. Got it.
takes 75 points of damage.
There's most of that healing gone.
Yeah,
Nice.
from all that, and then Aaron takes 0. Thankfully. Kaylin was literally the only person they could have hit with that. He's not even around.
You got finished.
All right. Well, that's Greg's turn. Jamelor, you're up. Oh, he is on mute. Jamelor, when you get a chance, unmute. Or I will come back to you. Counting chance. 3. There you go. Hello. Welcome back.
I'm here.
Yep.
You want me to just bring it away?
Yeah.
I didn't need all of it.
I will. You know what? I'm not gonna. First thing I'm doing is, can I see Tenem from where I'm at?
Yep. You can see him clearly as he is shooting tieflings left and right with a crossbow.
Gripping my rapier, I'm going to smile and go, I wish that man's soul would forever find itself in the pits of hell at this very moment, leaving his body helpless.
Jesus.
And use wish. With no way to return.
Alright, what's the what is there a saving throw on that?
It does not say. I'm not copying a spell. I'm wishing for an effect.
Just wish. Wish his soul is gone.
Alright, I'm gonna roll a d20. If this succeeds, then it will be no effect as he holds up his ring of spell turning. But anything else?
Shit.
And that's an 18 as Tenem's soul leaves his body. Okay.
And I said that loud enough to be heard.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Tenem. He drops to the ground.
Is dead.
Yep.
He's dead.
And
I'm just gonna pop my head out, look at Greg, and be like, "I think your captain's dead. I think it's time you retreated."
Greg nods and he looks at you lot and goes, "All right." And you suddenly hear a loud booming voice go off as someone seems to cast a spell retreat, and you start to see people running away.
I'm gonna walk out there and quickly cut off Tenem's head. I'm not letting anybody else take that glory.
Oh, all right. Well, if you walk out there, you're not. That'll be your movement and your action.
I'm bonus action dashing.
Okay.
So I'm moving 80 feet.
Yeah, you get up to him.
And I'm taking his head.
You don't have another action, I assume, correct?
Yep, but I'm waiting there. This is mine!
All right.
Angry crab around him.
Okay. As soldiers start to retreat, Tenem's turn goes by. Dora Zoriki, is there anything you'd like to do?
Is there anybody that looks like they still wish to fight?
No, the army's retreating. I mean, Tenem was their core, so...
That is fortunate.
You cut off the head of a snake, it dies.
Seems so.
I had to get really creative with that wish.
I think I will light down on the ground, and my clone will do so as well.
Okay.
And we will look around and we will say, "Good job, team." And that will be my turn.
Okay. All right. Hawk, you are up.
I want that ring.
Of that he has on his hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's mine first. I get to go through his loop first.
As you run over,
All yours. Here's mine.
as you go to grab the ring, you notice something. Give me a perception check.
Oh, I had advantage on these. So that's a 29.
You don't need to roll a second time. You're good.
Well, that's the better one anyway.
I'm gonna message you something.
I'm gonna wait to do anything until I get this message. Oh, hell no. Yeah, I'm definitely taking the ring away from the body.
Okay. As you go to grab the ring, give me a strength check.
Oh, I'm really bad at these. It's only a +1. It's a 13. It's not terrible.
Give me a dex saving throw, please.
Okay. Let's see. So I'm gonna use a key point to redo that because that's not good. Let's try again. That's a lot better. That's 26.
Alright, 1 second. You suddenly find
Do I
your
need to roll a dex saving
throat
throw?
has been grabbed by a very thick and very sturdy feeling hand, as you are now looking Tenham's dead and very vacant eyes, as he's holding you up around the throat currently, and his hand is stiff.
So if I polymorph in his hand right now to become a giant scorpion.
I mean, you moved over here. You still have your action.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna turn into a giant scorpion in his hand because I'll probably get his hand off me because I'll become so goddamn large.
Yeah. Do you have the stats for that on your character sheet, the stat block?
No, I have it pulled up on a different page.
Alright.
Because it's from an item, it doesn't give it to me on my.
That's fair. Alright.
It's actually not very strong at all.
I just want to see how big it is, and I just added it to your character sheet.
It's a large beast.
Okay. Yeah, as you turn into this giant scorpion, you manage to get away from his hand as it opens and drops you. Mostly because you don't have a throat anymore to grab.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Alright. That's your action. Do you have any... I don't think you have a bonus action to anything as a giant scorpion, if I'm correct.
No, I kind of just want to turn back to a rabbit, I'm going to be honest.
Okay, I'll allow that. So as you turn back, you're now on the ground, though.
That's fine.
Aaron, looking around, seeing the retreat, turns and runs. Doesn't even pay attention. Kaylin, you have one more round until you're brought back.
Okay.
Yes.
While he's waiting, he's gonna cast a spell standing in the library.
Mhm.
Gonna cast Crown of Stars out of his weapon, so he'll have kind of 7 little balls floating around his head.
Okay. Fair enough.
And then also do a bonus action because he has no idea that all this is happening. So he's gonna do a bonus action. Not the action surge, the healing one, second wind.
Okay.
I'll roll that here in a second.
Yep, feel free. Alright. As you're doing that, I'm just checking something. Okay. Let me know once you've healed up. Okay, that works.
Okay, 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see something here. What level is
At least
that?
I was creative with a wish.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. Then that would be all he'd do while he's waiting to get popped back.
Okay. Just checking something real quick. All right. You see as you're standing there, Jamelor and Hawk, as the cleric kind of looks at what happened, scared, freaked out, and immediately runs up to the body and casts teleport.
I wouldn't touch it. You leave it, please. I need his head just so I can be paid. I gotta have lunch.
And he teleports out of there.
Counterspell.
All right, roll your counterspell.
Is it gonna be another 7?
I'm not. I hope not. I'm just gonna roll it in here because it's just 1d20 plus. Or 1d20 plus freaking 4, and that's gonna save me a little bit of time.
Mm-hmm. Oh man. That's.
Oh my gosh, I forgot Shark. Leave me alone.
At least you got the 1 this time and didn't just put D20 and it auto rolls a 20. Oop, there we go. Let's see, once it pops up. As you go to cast Counterspell, he vanishes with the body. However, he did drop something. He drops one of his amulets of health that you managed to grab.
I yanked that right up.
Okay.
I guess this will have to do with proof. You all saw me kill him, right?
Well, I'm gonna walk up to Jamil and give him the bad news. Yeah, he's probably not dead.
He's dead enough that they aren't going to be attacking for a while.
He was in the ring.
And at this point, Kalen pops back into existence as Doro Zariki has come down. The rest of the troops have retreated and fallen back. The army has fallen back for the day.
It's still going to take him a little while. That was a wish. I just wasted on that fat bastard. I wish his soul to the depths of hell. If he considers the depths of hell to be inside that ring, then he's stuck there. So I also put on there, no way to return.
Alright. As you guys are now out of combat, Kalen comes back, having seen that the army's gone. The camp's kind of torn apart. It looks like, while you lot had a good fight with some of the commanders, the rest of the army didn't. Looking around, you'd probably match yourselves at about 2,000 men left. Galar kind of comes back, and he's got a nice giant sword gash in his side, or the right side of his arm, and he looks at you lot and walks up to Kalen and goes, "I see you were useful during this whole fight."
Yeah, until I got
Hell, I'm the one who wished him undead.
bounced away.
And it worked.
He just kind of smiles at you a lot and goes, banishment, fun spell. Ugh. But you did well,
I hate
man.
it.
You did well. I'll make sure you get paid well.
Yeah. Well, technically, I just killed the king, Tenem. I hold up the amulet. Although, I may have just put his soul in a ring.
No, he's become more lich than human, so he's, that ring probably had a piece of his soul still left in it. What you banished was a small piece of him. And most likely you just sent him somewhere where he's probably gonna get back eventually. The man's fought his way out of hell enough times. But it will take him time, and it's given us time.
I wish there's hell. I wish him to the bottom level of hell, so that gives you guys a look.
Yeah. And he looks up. Looks like the camp's retreating too, so... As far as it goes, you men will be paid. Thank you lot. And that is where we end today's campaign session. Thank you all, and I hope you have enjoyed this session.